was proud during my prior service in Congress over 4+ years to defend public broadcasting against what were then some pretty serious attacks on the Corporation for Public Broadcasting in terms of its independence, objectivity, and in terms of its funding. And I would certainly continue to do that going forward if I was privileged to serve again. I'm seeking re-election to Congress to return to the U.S. House of Representatives for 3 basic reasons. First, our Hawaii needs seniority and experience in Washington. I have served in Washington for 4+ years as a member and have another 3 years as a staff member. I have 7 years now in Washington. I know Washington. I know Hawaii and Washington, and I can walk between those worlds. Second, we need a better way forward in our country in terms of our political discourse. We have been caught in a spiraling downward direction in terms of excessive partisanship that has harmed our ability to look realistically at our problems, even to acknowledge them, and to consider what the options are, what principles we want to apply to those options, and to make concrete decisions that will affect and be acceptable at some minimum level to all of us. We have to find a better way forward, and finally, we need a better way forward right here in Hawaii. This election is about Washington, but it is also about Hawaii. It is about whether we are going to open up and include more people in local politics or continue a top-down decision-making approach here. I'm the only candidate that takes this package into this election, and I humbly ask for your vote.
Thank you. Rafael Del Castillo.
Thank you, and thanks to Public Radio for inviting us here tonight. I'm going to get right to the point. Our economy needs fixing. Our health care needs fixing. And Congress can't fix them because Congress is broken. We need to fix Congress. A quick story to tell you what people are thinking and saying. A friend of mine told me that he had read the candidate announcements for this special election, and that it was like going to 31 flavors and being told, sorry, all we have is vanilla. I read all of the comments to those articles, and over again, people said, we need a real choice. Well, you have one. Our health care costs are eating up our payroll checks, and Congress is telling us we shouldn't have health care reform, or we can't have health care reform. And they've been doing that for a generation. That's because when your main ambition is continuing in Congress, you live from election to election, from sponsor to sponsor. Real representatives take on the tough issues and solve them. That's what I'm about. I'm not a bystander. I have, for the last 10 years, been fighting big business for your health care, one patient at a time. As a lawyer in the courts, as a citizen in the legislature, and I've been fighting because I know health care. Whether we have a health care reform bill or not, we are going to need to solve this crisis in health care. Why else me? Because I'm the most like you. We don't have trust funds, and we've got to pay the bills. We've got to go to work and support our families.
Thank you. Charles Djou.
Good evening, Aloha. Wayne, and thank you for hosting us here this evening. My thank you to Hawaii Public Radio and to all the candidates for joining us here tonight. I'm running for the United States Congress on a very simple premise. I'm running for the United States Congress because I believe it is more important to elect a congressman who's going to fight to lower your taxes and allow you to keep more of your money than to elect a congressman who wants to spend all of your money. I'm running for the United States Congress because I have a record of fiscal responsibility and government accountability, a record based on my years in the State House and the Honolulu City Council, fighting tax increases, fighting wasteful government spending. And I'm running for the United States Congress most of all, though, because I understand the families here in Honolulu. I understand the families in Waipahu, who are immigrant families in Waipahu, because I'm a child of immigrants, and I know how difficult it is sometimes to struggle and climb the ladder of the American dream. I understand all the military families in Pearl City and the veterans families in Uvalani, because I've served in the Army, and I know how important defense is to our community. I'm running for the United States Congress because I understand all the hotel worker family in Waikiki, because I have represented Waikiki for the last 7.5 years on the Honolulu City Council, and I know the difficult times that Waikiki is going through right now. I understand that every single dollar the government spends comes from a family like you, and I understand that the United States Congress right now is taking our nation in the wrong direction and spending money like there is no tomorrow, and that we need to change the direction of our nation. And that's why I'm here tonight and humbly asking for your support. Mahalo.
Thank you. Colleen Halabusa.
Thank you, Wayne. I grew up in Waianae, and in Waianae, we knew when people needed help, you helped them. This is the core value that has basically motivated my whole political career, and the reason why I am seeking the office, 1st Congressional District. We are facing a very difficult time in our nation and in the state. We have issues regarding the economy, education, healthcare, and keeping our nation on course. I believe that I possess the skills necessary as a leader and as a legislator to best address these issues. You will hear tonight the word independent. People will be saying, we're all independent. But I ask that you ask one question. What is independence? I have been an independent voice for the 11 years that I've served in the Hawaii State Senate. I can tell you that experience has taught me that you never work alone in a legislative body. You need the cooperation, the respect of others to pass legislation. And let's not forget, that's the reason why we're there. We're there to pass laws that best serve our state and this community. To do that, you must listen and you must craft that legislation to meet the needs that we are to address. But we must never give up those core values that define us. It is the ability to work with others that will define us. It is a question of who will bring not only new ideas, but who will be able to get those ideas through. And I say I am that person. Remember, I am the first woman to sit as president of the Hawaii State Senate. And I do that because I have overwhelming support and respect of my colleagues who transcend both parties. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Philman Lee.
Hi, good evening, Wayne and fellow candidates. My name is Philman Lee, and I humbly ask for your vote to represent you in the 1st Congressional District. I'm one of the few in this race who was born and raised in the 1st Congressional District and truly understand the hopes, the dreams, the values of the constituents of the 1st Congressional. I'm not just homegrown, but I'm also a grassroots candidate. My goal is to rein in the undue influence of the megabuck special interest groups so that your voice, you, the voters, will be my top priority. I do not seek out endorsements nor take big money for special interest groups, so I will promise to make your interest my interest. I realize that it does take money to get your voice out, so I'm very thankful and grateful to Wayne and the public radio to further this process along. I, like Senator Habusa, is also care about people. I'm a distinguished humanitarian relief, humanitarian law, and human rights advocate. I risked my life, limb, and liberty doing humanitarian work for victims and refugees in the war and Holocaust in Lebanon. I've braved death, destruction, and pestilence. Oops. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our 6th candidate has arrived. Mr. Charles Amsterdam will now present a 2-minute answer on why he is seeking the congressional seat and the qualifications he brings to the office. Mr. Amsterdam.
Mahalo, aloha. I want to thank the